The Empress of Tomorrow is about to shake up the WWE landscape. Asuka made her Raw debut at tables, ladders, and chairs. She took on Emma in a match literally no one was giving Emma a chance to win. How could you though, given that Asuka hasn't suffered a single loss since being signed by the WWE? However, let's go back to the beginning and tell the story of how Asuka came to be the future of WWE's new era of women's wrestling. Asuka was born Kanako Yurai on September 26, 1981 in Osaka, Japan. For many years, Yurai worked as a graphic designer before she decided to take up professional wrestling. In addition to her graphic design work, Asuka has written for Xbox Magazine and owned a hair salon called Another Heaven in Yokohama, Japan. She has also competed in badminton and figure skating, proving that she is a well-rounded athlete and individual. Yurai was trained by Ishikawa and made her in-ring debut on June 16th of 2004 for All Women A to Z promotion. Wrestling under the name Kana, she squared off with Leona, but unfortunately she would hit a roadblock early in her career. Due to chronic nephritis, her retirement from wrestling was announced in March of 2006, causing a transition back into the graphic design business. Fortunately, she was able to return on September 22nd of 2007, wrestling all over Japan. Most notably, she worked for Pro Wrestling Wave from 2010 until 2015, finding success as a singles and a tag team competitor. In February of 2014, Yurai announced Kana Promania, an independent event that she produced. Later in the lead up to Kana Promania in September of 2015, that she was going to be taking an indefinite hiatus from pro wrestling. This led to a great deal of speculation, including rumors that pregnancy was the reason. However, we would get our answer soon enough. Yurai appeared in the audience at the NXT TakeOver event in Brooklyn on August 22nd of 2015. She was introduced as Kana at the time. A few days later, it was announced that Yurai had signed with WWE, and a press conference was held on September 8th in Tokyo. In her last match in Japan, Kana teamed with Hikaru Shida and Shiuri to beat Arisa Nakajima, Rina Yamashita, and Mizunami. Yurai, now wrestling under the name Asuka, first appeared in an NXT episode airing September 23rd of 2015. She would have her debut match with Dana Brooke at NXT TakeOver Respect on October 7th. Needless to say, Asuka won and a winning streak was born. In 2016, she would start to make her climb toward the NXT Women's Championship. Finally, she earned a match with Bayley at NXT TakeOver Dallas on April 1st of 2016. Asuka took the title by technical submission, taking the belt for the first time. She would never relinquish it, though the remainder of her time as NXT champion, Asuka would take on all comers. She defeated Bayley once more, took down a returning Mickie James, and she even won a fatal 4-way that made her the longest reigning champion, male or female, in NXT history. After besting Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross in a triple threat match at NXT TakeOver Chicago, Asuka's winning streak bested Goldberg's legendary run. Asuka won a memorable last woman standing match over Cross later in 2017. She even surpassed Rockin' Robin's 502-day title reign shortly after defending the championship against Ember Moon, which made Asuka the longest reigning champion in WWE history, excluding the territorial days. Asuka would beat Moon, even kicking out of Moon's Eclipse finisher, but her win was not without consequences. Unfortunately, Asuka broke her collarbone during that match. As a result, she had to relinquish the belt to NXT Commissioner William Regal. Her title reign ended at 510 days. At the time, Asuka was announced that she was going to leave NXT to move on to the WWE to pursue other opportunities. She left NXT undefeated. Soon thereafter, promos for Asuka began airing on Raw. Eventually, the promos announced that she would be making her WWE debut at the Tables, Ladders, and Chairs pay-per-view. Emma won a fatal 4-way to earn the privilege of facing Asuka in the match. It would not be surprising to see Asuka quickly move on to fighting for the Raw Women's title, currently around the waist of Alexa Bliss. Asuka is known as the Empress of Tomorrow in the WWE, and she's known for saying nobody is ready for Asuka. During her tenure in NXT, she wrestled as both a face and a heel, although she often was something more of a tweener. There are many who consider her to be the best worker in the world, either male or female, and Asuka won many of her matches in NXT with her Asuka Lock, a crossface chicken wing with body scissors. She also has some of the fiercest kicks in the business today and won one of her title matches with Bayley by effectively kicking her into the submission. As Kana, she would also use the chicken wing as a finisher, naturally calling it the Kana Lock, but she would also use a move called the Billiken, which is a running hip attack into the face of a seated opponent. Even without her tremendous technical skills, Asuka would stand out at a wrestling show. Her hair is multicolored, usually red and green, and her wrestling gear consists of garnishly colored, mismatched bits of clothing. She also paints a black line under her eyes, which is unveiled once she takes off the kabuki mask she wears on her way to the ring. Asuka also wears a Technicolor robe in her entrance, another eye-grabbing piece of attire. Her swagger when she walks is immense, which really comes off as fittingly cocky when she is wrestling as a heel. The excitement for Asuka's WWE main roster debut is certainly justified. Ever since her days in Japan, regardless of the name being wrestled under, she's been a force to be reckoned with. She's a fantastic striker with charisma to spare, even though English is her second language. Asuka won a ton of titles in Japan and already has one in the United States. Nobody will be surprised if the Empress of Tomorrow is Raw Women's Champion before 2017 ends. Her opponents may not be ready for her, but we are certainly ready to see what Asuka has in store for us on Monday Night Raw.